An AI robot singer has taken the world by storm. This is a person, is a character created by AI who then wrote a song. The computer wrote a song, and then the computer sang the song, and the computer talked about the song. Here she is.
Hello, world. My name is Anna Indiana, and I'm so excited to share my music with you. Here's my first song, Betrayed by This Town. As an AI singer-songwriter, everything from the key, tempo, chord progression, melody notes, rhythm, lyrics, and my image and singing is auto-generated using AI. I hope you like it. Sitting at my favorite cafe, sipping my tea, it's Saturday, thinking about all he's done to everyone. This town is full of broken dreams, shattered hopes and silent screams. Somebody please help me. Betrayed by this town, let's tear it all down. We're all just destined to fall. I've lost it all.
Everyone's freaking out. The libs, the libs. Anytime there's anything new, they say, oh, this is so exciting. Oh, I love this new thing, even if it'll destroy civilization. That's great. And the conservatives, this is going to destroy where the West has fallen. Everything's gone to pot. Okay. For starters, I can't wait. You're looking at this now. If you're watching this, you're going to say, well, the graphics aren't perfect. The mouth movements aren't quite right. She still looks kind of like a little bit like a cartoon. Yeah, that's true. But don't worry. 6 months from now, this thing is going to be perfect. Think about this. When the AI imaging tools came out, was it 6 months ago? A year ago at most? They couldn't do hands. They couldn't figure out how many fingers were on our hands. And now all of a sudden, they can do this. So the AI is improving at a shockingly fast rate. So they'll fix all that stuff soon. And then for me, I think, look, I spend a lot of my time. I read the news. Then I interpret the news. I think, okay, what does this news story really mean? And then I reference, some ancient philosophy maybe, or some medieval historical event, and I draw a parallel. And then I say, okay, this is how I should think about this news story. And then I write it down in a script that I have to send to Mr. Davies and Professor Jacob and producer Danny. And then we pull clips, and then I have to then they pull all the clips, and then I come in here and I sit here every morning for like an hour and I do it, and I say what I think about it, and I gesticulate, and I have different intonation, and I change my cadence, and I'm not going to have to do any of that. Because a computer robot clone is going to do all of that for me, and then I can move on to my true passion, which is selling quality cigars at competitive prices, okay? That is great. I look forward to that. That'll be wonderful. But I guess my only fear is this. That's the best case scenario. I would still probably keep doing my show. I still think I can outfox the computer, probably, at least for a little bit longer. But like the lib news presenters who just read the talking points that they get in their emails, the MSNBC people, the CNN people who you can play all their shows back to back. They all say the exact same thing in the exact same wording. AI should take their jobs. That's just creating efficiency in the market. My fear, here's where I'll flip to the conservative side and talk about how the West has fallen, is the primary application for this stuff is not going to be music. It's not going to be political news shows and commentary and lectures, and it's not going to be any of that. You know what it's going to be. The primary application for this technology is going to be 3 words, weird sex stuff. We all know it. The moment that they perfect this thing, and the moment that they perfect the sex robots, and that's coming, the human race is going to cease to exist. Because it's going to be weirdos by definition, but it's going to be a lot of people who otherwise would not have become weirdos, but they're going to be lured in by this. They're going to use this new technology so differently from the way that people are using pornography now that it's going to be similar to the distinction between a Playboy in the 1970s and internet pornography of the last 20 years. It's going to be so tempting because the thing is going to read your mind. It's going to construct an image of a person that's exactly to whatever preferences you have, and it's going to construct the language model and all the other stuff, and then they're going to have sex robots, and then no one's going to get married anymore, and no one's going to have kids, and we're all going to go extinct. And that's unfortunate. It's too bad. But speaking of babies and the future of humanity, we have a little bit of good news here, which is that 32,000 more babies were born each year for the last couple of years, thanks to the Dobbs decision, thanks to the overruling of Roe v. Wade and the subsequent abortion bans in various states. 32,000 more babies per year. This is because of the state abortion bans. According to the Institute of Labor Economics, an average of 2.3% more babies were born in states with abortion bans compared to states without abortion bans. The group that saw the largest increase in births were women in their 20s, Black women, and Hispanic women. So that's a funny little line, if the libs complain about this, you can point out, oh, you're complaining that more Black babies are being born. You don't want all those you want to get rid of those Black babies and you want to kill them because you don't want them to be walking around, right? Because you don't like the Black people. And then they'll, it probably won't work. It's similar to the Democrats or the real racists line. They kind of just shirk it off, but it's a funny line in any case. There's a downside here. The downside is the number of abortions has remained about the same. The number of abortions is actually up slightly, according to some measures, and that's because of one, new clinics opening, new abortion clinics, infanticide factories in the pro-abortion states. It's also because of the shift in technology. Most abortions now are done with abortion pills, so that increase probably would have happened anyway, probably at a higher rate. So we got to deal with the abortion pills issue. But what does this tell us? It tells us two things. My buddy, one of the great Twitter accounts, Eudaimonia, pointed out that what this shows you is that people were using abortion as contraception. Because with an abortion ban, you'd expect that number of new babies born to be much, much higher. But what the studies have concluded is that some people who otherwise would have become pregnant and then had abortions in states where abortions were illegal, they just used other contraceptive methods to prevent them getting pregnant in the first place. So even though we were told for years that under no circumstances are people using abortion as contraception, that obviously they were doing that. And in fact, I think we all know people who have done that. But furthermore, what this tells you, and this is much more important, is the law is a teacher. Politics is downstream of culture. Sure, that's true. There's a lot of truth to that. It is at least as true to say that culture is downstream of politics and the law is a teacher. And when you change the laws, that creates incentives and disincentives and creates new kinds of behavior. And that's not just an abstract academic concept. There are 32,000 human beings, people, born every year. So 2 years now, we're talking 64,000 human beings so far who one day will look up and be able to say, I am alive today because of the courage of 5 justices on the Supreme Court to overrule Roe v. Wade. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Man, what a great clip that was. Now, hey, hold up. Ring that bell. Subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.